If you're looking for a timeless piece, whether you travel a lot or you're just on the go and you always find yourself carrying your keys, your wallet, your phone, and just making these bulgy ass pockets, man, it's not a good look. Stretches out your pants, can ruin the tailored look, and even those minimalistic wallets can be a little bit much sometimes. Let's talk about a few bags that I think are worth checking out from Louis Vuitton.
Here's some codes to save you some cash on your next Middle Eastern, niche, or designer fragrances.
What's going on, guys? My name is Neeb. Welcome back to AROMATIX. Today we're going to be talking about two bags that I recently purchased from Louis Vuitton. When we're talking fashion, men's goods, accessories, bags, and leather goods specifically, Louis Vuitton is one of the best. There are plenty of other brands that you can get at this same price range and caliber, like Gucci, Prada, Fendi, etc. But for me, my brand of choice is always going to be and always has been Louis Vuitton. I own quite a few of their bags and I have for quite some time. I've got the Christopher bag, I've got their duffel bags in a bunch of different sizes as well. The monogram has always been my go-to, and they come in a bunch of different designs. They have their flower designs, the plaid design. They've got a matte black finish with just supple calf leather. They've got this monogram as well in the flower design that's embossed, really creating this nice texture. And throughout all of my purchases, I found one thing to be consistent, at least for my style, and generally speaking in fashion in a whole, as a whole, I should say. Gentlemen, a lot of these brands that are very loud and stand out and juvenile are actually counterproductive in terms of leveling up. So if you want to up your game, I personally recommend going with something subtle. You definitely can have something that speaks a little bit, maybe something like this of the original flower. It's nice, it's not too juvenile, but it does have a nice pop. It is a lot more youthful than something of this nature, and I always recommend you go with something nice, plain, and clean. Louis Vuitton is very successful in delivering products that, although are very sleek and modern and not really too loud, can still definitely make a statement. The subtle differences between the texture of the gradient for this leather along with this black hardware is enough to really have this pop. The fact that this is matte versus this textured leather really does allow you to stand out. And when you're walking around, that's something a lot more subtle than something that's screaming and demanding attention. When you do get somebody's attention, this is a lot more elegant. It represents somebody that's a lot more calm in nature, a lot more confident and attractive overall, and translating into somebody that's a bit more masculine. The more loud and vibrant the colors, the more attention demanding it seems, and the more attention seeking you may seem, and kind of counteractive to the whole fashion statement making or whatever it is that you're trying to do. And that usually translates into a lot of other clothing. For the most part, I like to tailor my shirts, and even when I buy a $500 shirt, or if I were to buy a $500 shirt, what I'm looking for is usually the quality, the fit, the style, more so than any labeling and brand. With something like this, I do enjoy the fact that it does have this pretty big LV on the sign there, and it has it also written on the straps. But for the most part, gentlemen, you do want something that's discreet, that's confident, that's masculine. And if you want something that's a bit more statement making, this one is exactly that as well. So amongst all of their designs, these are quite a few of my favorite ones. If I had to pick between some of them, I would say that sticking to the black and gray grid gradient is a really nice one, along with the black and gray flower. They do have another design that's gray with the black flower texture where it's kind of reversed, and I still feel like that gradient is a little bit, although still decent, not as good or as nice as these two right here, and just the more classic designs. It screams classic. They're always still modern with the times. They are always advancing with the times. And today we're going to be talking about these two bags. This is called the TakeOff Sling, and this is called the Duo Sling, both of which I got in a solid matte black finish. And I also really enjoyed this same exact bag that was gray on black. So a black base leather with the textured designs, or the details I should say, in gray, rather than the other way around. They did have a few messenger bags that did that as well, which was like black on gray and then gray on black. I think it was a little bit too bold, but still very nice. It was slightly bigger than my taste personally, kind of resembled more of a purse, whereas these two are a lot better than that. These to me are the best bags that they have at the time of making this video, and there were quite a few other bags that I wanted to pick from as well. And I have been considering lately whether or not I should go back and grab the same black bag with the gray designs on top of it in the flower texture. Both of these are leather finish. This one is softer than the TakeOff Sling. It does have a more supple leather feel to it. It is a little bit textured, more so than this one as well, and it has that textured embossed style design on here. One thing they both have in common is they have a classic canvas style strap, and the Louis Vuitton detailing and branding on the straps are more than enough to make a statement as well. Box presentation is similar to that of the fragrances. Magnet box. On the inside you also get the wraps, and you get their signature cloth bag in which the bag itself sits. The first bag that I decided to buy is called the TakeOff Sling, and the TakeOff Sling looks like something that you could actually wear as a belt in itself. itself. So if you're taking off on a travel trip, etc., you could ideally travel with something like this. The bag retails for around 2,300 USD, but it's got a lot of details, a lot of quality. I mean, this is premium material stuff as well. They use a rich grained calf leather to create this leather in itself. On the back of the bag, it's actually pretty flat. So you have almost like this surface where it seems like they placed an actual bag on the front. It's very sleek, modern. It's not too loud. It's not too juvenile. Some of the other bags that I saw or I see a lot of people wearing seems a little bit too loud for me personally. I like the simplicity in things, although it's high quality, because I'm looking for the high quality rather than just screaming. Although this does, make a statement with the LV, considering the fact that it's pretty big. So for those of you who do like making statements as well, you're still absolutely gonna do exactly that. The front closure is magnetic, and it's actually a pretty strong magnetic closure as well. On the inside, you have a pretty decent amount of space, and you also have the logo, the signature Louis Vuitton logo on the inside. I cannot emphasize enough the quality of their leather, obviously. The texture gradients and differences between the calf leather and the black hardware that's matted out really helps it stand out. So although you might be thinking that, oh, it's black on black, you're not really gonna be able to see it. For those of you who want something subtle but also noticeable, it still is exactly that. The strap is their signature, more classic old school style, which is a cloth strap that has Louis Vuitton written all over the straps as well. So you have two ways that you can hook this on, and the hook in itself is exactly that. It looks like so. Very heavy material here, and it goes into this inlet that you have on the strap that's made in leather. So you can hook it like that. You can actually put this on after you've taken off the hook, or you can hook it on first and then place it on. So you can place it on like so, and you can have it just a sling just like that. Not only that, but you also have a zipper that's placed on the back of the actual pouch in itself. The hardware seems extremely sturdy, and you have quite a bit of space. I personally saw a lot of their other bags, and they had a couple of messenger bags, I believe it was, and in that messenger bag, it is a lot of value for the similar price tag. You pay $2,100 or $2,200, but the problem with that is that you get this double bag, and it actually ends up looking kind of like a merce, like an actual purse. So it's a double bag, one sits in front of the other, and it's significantly bigger than this. I think this is a pretty sleek profile. It's a lot more masculine in my opinion, and it's very just subtle. The strap itself is adjustable, and you have a secondary loop which collects the rest of the strap so that you have a nice finish, clean and done. And then also you can either tuck this in and wear it the other way around, which I believe you're supposed to. The very end of the strap has this leather finish that's stitched onto the end, so it's easier for you to be able to pull on. Dimensions for this bag: the length is 11.8, the height is 6.3, and a width of 1.2 inches. So a pretty slim and slender profile. If you're about having something that's high quality, but you don't want to be screaming, you don't want something juvenile, this is an excellent bag that I think is going to get me years and years of use. The intention and description of this product per Louis Vuitton is that its spare design and rich grained calf leather make the Louis Vuitton Aerogram Takeoff Sling a practical hands-free accessory for the fashion-conscious man. The LV initials in black metal and a strap inspired by the house's historic trunks add a subtle signature touch. The spacious main compartment with its beveled flap and magnetic closure is supplemented by a secure zip pocket. And these bags can be made in one of their 4 factories, either in France, Spain, Italy, or the US. So there was one more bag that I absolutely fell in love with, and for a long time I saw it. I really have a thing for these sling bags. I cannot express how hard it is to wear those slings or lanyard straps around your neck. It's honestly exhausting. By the time I'm done with my traveling, my back is kinked, I've got this knot in my trap, and boohoo, right? No, listen, this is really nice too. So this is called the Duo Sling Bag, and it comes in a much bigger box, as you'll get with other bags that are this size in nature. So on the inside, you see we have that wrap, and you also get their signature cloth bag, except this one has a drawstring. You open it up like so, and these in themselves, if you wanted to reuse it, you absolutely could. And here you have it, the Duo Sling Bag by Louis Vuitton. A note from the brand themselves is that this bag right here is made from supple calf leather. The Duo Sling Bag is a functional and body-friendly alternative to the traditional backpack. Its design features a zipped side pocket, perfect for a smartphone, other belongings, and removable pouch for an easy access to essentials. The adjustable shoulder strap can be worn on the right or the left side. I personally like to have it come across my right side. If you're traveling with a few more goods and you want to put in a lot of other stuff in that bag and the takeoff sling isn't really enough space for you, oftentimes that's the case with me. For example, if I'm traveling with my phone, my gimbal, etc., that takeoff sling is not going to hold those gimbals. And before this, I was really just carrying a sling around my neck, and as you can imagine, it was really wearing me down. So with this, I can put my gimbal in it, I can put some of my microphones, I can put a lot of the accessories that I truly need. And this coin coin purse. I mean, who uses coins anymore? This is gonna be perfect for cards, wallet. My wallet, I have a very sleek wallet as well. And the calf leather is actually extremely, as they described, supple. It is a little bit softer than the TakeOff, and it also has this embossed, very subtle as well, masculine looking bag. It's not something that's youthful, juvenile. I also tried this one in their other more signature style plaid, which is similar to this, the flower design. And I did also see it in the plaid, the grid design, but I really enjoyed this flower design in monogram. Will I go back and buy the plaid, etc., or the flower one that's a little bit more youthful? Maybe, but I'm not really in a rush. This serves the purpose. This is gonna be a long time piece for $27.90. It's a pretty hefty price tag. It's something that can, you know, age with me, and it's gonna age relatively well. A timeless piece, very comfortable. The strap in itself is that very classic Louis Vuitton finish, along with the very big and bold Louis Vuitton written in, but it's black on black, so it's not obnoxious, it's not too youthful, it's just there. It's a beautiful piece that when you look at, you know is Louis Vuitton. The matte finish to all of the hardware are beautiful pops. Despite the fact that it's black on black, it really does stand out. On the back of the bag, you have these two loops. All of the hardware are in matte black, but the loops themselves are plastic. Like I said, any problems you have with these bags, they'll fix it, whatever they need to do to get you right. This one is definitely my favorite of the two. Clearly bigger, gonna serve a lot more purpose. I'm gonna get a lot of wearings out of this one, and it's gonna be extremely helpful for those of you that are always on the go, etc. And the reason why I recommend these flat black or more subtle approach to these style bags is because you could easily dress it up or dress it down. You could wear your workout gear and get away with rocking something like this. It'll actually dress you up. Either one will suit the bill, but obviously don't just wear some rinky-dink Marshalls or TJ Maxx finds when you want to wear something like this. I mean, I've got like Fabletics, some Lululemon, something that's nice, looks like it's tailored. These will be a beautiful final touch. So dressed down, dressed up, but do make sure that the dressed down look has an overall tailored look, kind of close to the body, similar to something of this. This is a Fabletics shirt. I do have a couple of Lululemon shirts, not always the best fits possible, but when you do find a workout attire that's close fitting, etc., they do look slightly dressed up. And for those occasions, or even those dressed down scenarios, you could easily rock these. High price tag, but absolutely high quality stuff. Dimensions of this fragrance: for the length is 7.9 inches, the height is 16.5 inches, and the width is 2.4 inches. That's what she said. The strap itself is detachable from the base on either the right or the left side, and it attaches to these loops that's back here. On the top itself, it's not removable, and it's on there extremely sturdy. You can adjust the length to either increase or decrease, and it straps right back on. Although the loop on the back of the bag itself is plastic, the loop that detaches and attaches is a pretty hefty, seems like aluminum or just a very sturdy metal finish. The coin pouch itself is also very similar in nature. It's gonna be a metal hardware on the actual coin purse with this plastic loop here that is detachable. If you wanted to tuck it away or place it in the bag, you can actually do that as well. If you don't want to have that dangle, there you go. Nice, done, even more modern and sleek. Gentlemen, for the most part, I find that having brands that are obnoxiously loud and just scream Prada or Boss or Louis Vuitton is more than just a statement, can be obnoxious and can actually level your style down. Having something a little bit more subtle and clean represents class, represents self-confidence. It's very attractive and it's a lot more masculine, and that's exactly why I recommend something of this nature, simple, and the matte black finish in itself. I'm not saying that the other designs are not nice, because the plaid ones are actually really nice. It's just really youthful, and whatever suits your personality more is absolutely what you should go with. At the end of the day, you should pick a color that you're comfortable with, because you're gonna be wearing it, and if you're comfortable in it, naturally speaking, your aura is gonna be higher, your confidence is gonna be higher, and it's gonna reflect exactly in that way. So there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. These are the two bags that I recently purchased from Louis Vuitton. I think these are excellent staple pieces that are going to be in my collection for a long time. I do have quite a few other bags. I have a Christopher book bag. I have the duffel bag that's in this same exact style for the book bag and in the duffel bag, along with the plaid Christopher book bag as well. And as you can see, I have quite a few of the collection from the Louis Vuitton fragrances. If you're interested in watching that video, check out this video here. But before you do that, hit that subscribe button, leave a like, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.